Okay. Oh, I think there's a right way, yes. Light. The backlight is off, but I can't turn it on with my pops. Mm. Okay. So, this is a not premeditated video. I feel like I should make a video where I try to speak as true to myself as possible. Take all this structure, the phone is kind of at the angle. I hope it's better. You're kind of viewing me from the side. No, I'm looking to the side, but it's straight. Strange. Like, take all this structure and put it away, because all this structure is what I want to get rid of in the first place. All these structures which make it hard to move. And don't get me wrong, I love these structures. I love to build them. I love to play with them. But they are also kind of heavy and kind of get in the way of living. In the worst way I can describe it. So from that, can I lean back without killing? Now I have a ceiling. Can I yeah, like this? That's too low. Okay. So I guess I'll start with the whole situation. I'm getting nervous and hot again. With the whole situation I'm in, which is basically summarized that I quit my job and started to live in my car and do these videos, which is an odd decision if you measure it by normal standards. So, and now I'm getting into the structure again, because it's stable, I can hide there, which I will try to avoid. I feel like it was just never my game. I always had a feeling of starting from school, okay, something is wrong here. The seriousness that replaced the playing did not make sense. Like, you can learn and have fun. You can make money and have fun. But that's not what was done. So I always understood, like, something is really, really wrong here. And partly on society's behalf, partly because I thought, well, I'm a child. What do I know? And partly because it was the impulse I got from my parents, which weren't probably are scared by the societal pressure again for the kids to fit into that system. Because, like, you don't know how your kid will turn out. Maybe it will do pretty well in there. You just don't know. I'm getting sidetracked again. So, it never felt right to me. Like, I always knew it. So I never did it. that easy. And I was always right with it. I kind of tagged along, but I never had the urge to give my potential to something which I don't feel, which does not represent myself. Like, for a core culture to propagate, it needs people to become that culture, to bring that culture into the world. And I always felt like I don't want to do that. I despise the culture. That culture makes me suffer. And I don't think that's a good way to do that. So I didn't. And time again, that decision proved to be true. And always I stood there like, okay, I knew that was shit. I did it anyway. And after doing it, I still stand there like, oh yes, I was right, that's shit. And after I did it a few times, I was kind of standing there like, well, I guess I should move. I should go somewhere else if that is not working. Mm. The first was sitting kind of strange today. So, what happened then? Well, I worked, I explored on the site. I did what was expected, the safe path of, okay, I work mainly and I do the interesting thing on the side. And I can't see things anymore. It's like I need to go in here and find out. Oh, I could adjust it. That is a limitation of like the felt, not felt, the form inside, which I need to adjust. But I think it's also stabilizing my head, so I don't know really. And now everything is full of fur. Yay! I think it's better now. It should be. So I never really felt that. So I finally made the decision. Okay, for that to work, I need to reduce my costs. And I want to explore. So the car was the perfect choice. And with that, I could implement something which I really wanted to do. Building a spaceship, which is still impossible, I know. But I'm aiming for a balloon because it's the next best thing. And I could test that. That's something I probably got from watching sci-fi movies as a kid. You have the opportunity and the freedom to build your own ship and expand it and have your own microcosm of living, which you can move from place to place. Which I always say it seemed like a beautiful idea to me and like an idea I would so much love so much. Like just moving and exploring while living. That's amazing! I'm getting lost. It seems like something that I would like to work towards. And from the other side, what I have experienced, how long am I recording? 9 minutes, it's okay. I'm already doing a cost analysis of time again. Yay! That's exactly what I'm trying to not do with fur in my nose. Okay, so where was I? I also always had the feeling that exploring is not really rewarded in main society, I call it. And I do that because if I call people normies or something, that is kind of, you can take the term and say, okay, that's derogative. It's derogative. If that is the right word. It just means, what I'm trying to say is like, oh, you're making me bad by saying that. So I went a different way, and I'm fighting the hairs in my fursuit today. It's a hard life. So I went like, okay, I use main because I can go. Okay, everyone knows the mainstream, but instead of doing mainstream, which is also seen as bad, I can do the mainstream, like flow dynamics. It's the mainstream of culture, and my paw is the wrong way. So you can say, okay, if we look at culture as streams, there is a mainstream from which the other streams go off of. Which I think is a great and beautiful analogy to visualize it. And it's not, how do I call it? I always want to say derogative. Is that the right word? It's not making someone bad. Like, it has the same implications as making. Those things are seen as making someone bad because they are in a certain degree. But we can't admit that. So the main concept must be something that can be easily explained, and from that you can go off and factor out the bad things on themselves. So the main concept is secured, definitely. It's stable in itself, it's self-referential. Where was I going? I already forgot. And by it, I'm not automatically making a comparison between outside main is good and inside main is bad. Like, everything has pros and cons. You can't make it a simple assumption of peer group dynamics. And I'm talking because I still don't know where I was coming from. Oh shit, I think that's deep. So I never really felt it. So now I'm traveling and hoping I find some way to finance it, which kind of gives me pressure because it is the ultimate test to find out if I can survive like that. And if not, I have to go back into a system which I despise and don't support. And I have fur in my nose and it's tickling really bad. Why is that such a problem today? I don't get it. There is so much fur in there somehow. It's incredible. I should open a fur store. Where was I? Where was I? Where was I? It's like the ultimate test of if that will work. My paw is the wrong way again. It's like the ultimate test of if that will work. 15 minutes. Okay. It's like the ultimate test if that will work. And if not, I have to go back into a culture which I don't want to support. I don't want to carry it into the next generation. how do I explain that? Seen on the whole scale, which is humankind, from every generation to the next, there are certain viewpoints which survive by being lived by certain people, and certain people not living them. And as I make my decision, I don't want to be a part of that system. Still, I needed to have a reference of where I not want to go. So it has its worth in itself. But it's probably just a personal disliking, which I, as a person of persons living in a society, need to express, because if I don't express it, it will not be registered in the whole congregation. Congregation is a great word. Shout out to Curl the Raven. What did the furry song? You're amazing. I love that word. He's probably not going by that word. That's an old song. So I did that, and I do that, and I try. I'm here. Let me think deeply. There are a lot of fears and side alleys and emotional connections with people like my parents and people, and fears of myself about the future, which are entangled with that. So it's of course for me myself a loaded topic, but I try to explain understandably without flying off into hello flying off into something ununderstandable or not understandable. I feel like I'm at the end of my video. Like, I have great topics to talk about. I can talk about how you hide yourself behind words, or your company behind words to get attention or not get attention, which would be a great economic thing. Like, you want to grow economically, so I can sell you something economically, which would be the value proposition of marketplace, of the current marketplace. But I don't feel like it's the right way to do it. I feel like that's great knowledge and it should be used. But how do I say it? I just ate a pizza. There is probably a playful way to do that. A playful way where you need it for something else, which is fun, which you want to do. Where you are just using it and then you automatically understand the concept because you're using it. Instead of explaining it in a hypothetical sense and taking the extraction. My mouth is getting dry. I should end the video. Soon I will. Instead of having a hypothetical scenario which you then have to decipher and reorient and understand, and then you have to apply it, and it's like, yeah, you just use it. Here, you need it for that. You do it, and you don't even notice that you use it. You just learned it just by doing it. It's the greatest thing there is. It's play. Play is wonderful. It's so wonderful. Like, it's fun. And going into an abstraction, that's like the way we are taught to learn. And that way is so shitty. Like on so many levels. I don't think I want to teach like that. If I'm teaching at all. The goal would be to just play and have fun. If you understand me. Like, if you're talking about a topic you know more about than someone else, you're automatically teaching. But that does not mean you need to take that archetypal teacher role from main and transfer it one to one. I'm dying. Literally dying. Probably over. Okay. I'm really dying. That's the end of the video. Thank you for listening. The universe is telling me to stop talking. I stop talking. Have fun. Play a lot. Explore. I hope I don't die. Bye. See, like that. It's way more fun to make videos like this. Now I stop video because I'm dying. Bye.